Welcome to my home. If you're new here, my name is Karen, and my family recently moved from Maine to Vermont. I had lived in Maine all of my 60 years, so this was a really big deal. We have downsized greatly the size of our home, going from a full-size salt box that was a 3-bedroom with an extra bonus room, a 3-season porch, and now we are living in a 3-bedroom condo. So it is a big adjustment for all of us. I have a little bit of everything in this video as we make our little house a home. We're here with our 3 adult daughters and our infant grandson, my husband and I. So I'm adding a little bit of fall decor. This was actually done the day that I filmed the last video where nothing fit in my kitchen. So I thought I wanted to put it in a fresh video so that I would have a more positive outlook on it, because actually, even though I was excited to add some fall decor, I was a little bit frustrated after trying to kind of set up my kitchen. But I also wanted to share an idea that just might work for you too if you don't like to put big holes in your wall. My daughter-in-law Beth gave me the best idea when I was recently visiting her in Massachusetts, where she uses pins instead of nails. So I'm going to give you the pros and cons here, but here I am explaining to my husband. She does. She uses these dressmaker pins, you know, and she taps them into the wall, and then she hangs lightweight things like this on them, and then you're not putting big holes in your walls.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll work better than my basket idea on top of the cabinets.
What is going on, you big fat
I can't even
cheese?
open this.
You look so cute.
There's anything
You're
wrong
so
with your
papa.
basket idea. It's just that one basket was very tall.
No, that one was too tall, and every other basket is too wide. They just look like they're jetting out, and then nothing fits in the smaller baskets. It's toppled over the top, so then it looks really messy. It just was not it. So it doesn't work.
Okay.
Our life doesn't fit in this kitchen because we're foodies, so we're probably going to have to buy something or get rid of stuff. Be less the foodies that we are. I got these 2 swags at Michael's Craft Shop, and I also got some little pumpkin fairy lights, I guess you would call them. They're battery operated. My idea was to wrap the 2 swags together. I didn't like either one of them in and of themselves. I just felt like they weren't full enough, so I wrapped the 2 together. I want to hang it over this window that I do not yet have a curtain for. I would like to eventually get some sort of window covering, but I don't want to rush my decisions. So we're just going to hang this fall swag. I'm wrapping the lights around them, and then I thought the battery packs could set on the cabinets on either side. Now I want to tell you my straight pin pros and cons, okay? There are pros and cons to using a straight pin instead of a nail. And the pros are, it doesn't put a big hole in your wall. Now, I got to thinking afterwards, my daughter-in-law was hanging, she was hanging swags too, but they were very lightweight felt pumpkins and leaves on yarn, or a type of yarn, okay? Mine's a little bit heavier. So first of all, you can't put any of these pins if you have a stud. So it can't go where a stud is. My husband's lightly tapping it with a hammer. Also, you need to get the extra long pins is what I would recommend, which is not what I did. So my husband was having a really hard time with this. I was like, just put one in the middle and put one on either side, and then the swag will go up. No problem, no big deal. And it was a problem, and it was a big deal. So what he ended up doing was getting some bread ties, wrapping the bread ties around the swag, and then wrapping it also around the pins, and then it did end up working. He didn't think my tea lights, or my fairy lights were going to work, and just quite honestly, I was too tired I might have argued it on another day, but on this day I'm like, it doesn't matter, just get the swag up. I will put the lights somewhere else. See, he just is having a hard time here. So I end up putting the lights out on my back deck, and I will show those to you another day, but I am waiting for some more garlands to come in from Amazon. They were supposed to come in yesterday and they didn't come for some unknown reason. And so I will do that in a future video. And then I had another set of tea lights that was like little acorns. That's super cute. And I have electricity on both my back deck and my front porch. So I don't know if the battery pack thing is going to work or if I'll bring those back inside. You know, it's all trial and error. And I love to share that with you. I love to share the real process because I feel like whenever I watch videos, and it's probably just because I'm watching it with my own filter, doesn't it ever feel like everybody else's idea is better than yours? And whatever they do just works perfectly and they don't have any problems at all. And when I try to do something, it takes me 15 tries before I get something that actually works. So here I am, painstakingly unwinding these, and I am speeding up the clips here because I thought nobody wants to sit through me spending 25 minutes wrapping fairy lights on a swag only to then unwrap them from the swag. But that is the way it happened. Once he gets it hung, I'm going to show it to you, and I really, really do love it. I think I went off somewhere. I don't even think I was home when he actually ended up putting it up. I just was like, please keep the camera on yourself. That's all I ask. And I think I either went out on errands or something. Oh, you know what? It might have been the day we went apple picking. I'm not quite sure. But anyways, he does end up getting those up for me, and I am so completely pleased. He also hung one garland at a time because doing the wrapped garland was a little bit much. So if you're keeping score here, nothing I tried actually worked. But it's all good now, and I think it came out beautiful. Also, I had asked you guys to vote if I should try to get baskets. I was trying to put my smaller appliances in baskets to go up on top of these cabinets because I have all of this space. It's so funny because in our last house we had a soffit and we had recessed lighting, and we always wanted to take that out, but we just were like, what are we going to be digging into? Is it even worth it? So to come here and there's no soffit made me so happy. And the nice flat white ceiling also makes me very, very happy. And I asked you guys to vote on the baskets, and you guys made some very, very great points that I wanted to share with everyone in case you might think of this idea. So one thing that someone said is anything that's put up there is going to be forgotten, and you might end up decluttering it later. And that is absolutely true. In fact, that to me is both a con and a pro. It's kind of a pro because if you want your family to forget about something, go ahead, put it up on your cabinets, and you'll get to declutter it in 6 months. Something else that someone mentioned is because you're cooking with oil and things like that, you're going to be gathering grease. Grease is going to rise as you cook, and things are going to get greasy and gummy up there, and it's going to be hard to clean. I thought that was an excellent point. Someone else mentioned that things get dusty and dirty that are in open baskets. Someone else said they put some sort of cloth on top so that that doesn't happen. I thought that was all great ideas. So the vote came in, and there were a couple of you that said go ahead, the basket could look beautiful. But everybody else was like, no, the basket thing does not work. And so since I am a huge proponent of clean lines, for now, those tops of the counters, or excuse me, tops of the cabinets are going to stay empty. I would like to, in the future, do something that is decor up there. Originally, I thought I was going to do it for fall, but I might just wait until Christmas time and put up some sort of garland. So that's what I'm thinking at this point, and then we'll just see how things go in the future. We have graduated to the next day, and I just wanted to show you my new I don't need no gym step routine. This is the walk to the laundry now. Down 2 flights of stairs. So I just had to share that with you. So we're getting started with some laundry, and then I'm going to go ahead and get myself ready for the day, and we can get into more unpacking. And then also I wanted to show you guys what we got done in the garage. Actually, it wasn't me. I didn't touch anything, but I'm going to show you what my husband got done in the garage. Since moving, I am really trying to get my morning routine back down pat because I find that my morning routine is so important for setting up my day. If I am not having a good, strong morning routine, I feel like I never actually get off the ground and it just feels like I can't get anything done. Now here you can see I'm super tired. First of all, I was taking the stairs one at a time, if you noticed the way I was stepping, but then I almost put a dryer sheet in the washing machine, and now I am putting Downy where bleach would go. So we're on the struggle bus, and I just wanted to confess that in case you notice. And then does anyone else have this problem? Look at me spinning and spinning and spinning this washing machine, and it's not moving. I'm always afraid this is going to end up breaking in the end. Anyways, I'm trying to get very disciplined about putting on my makeup, and I even ended up buying myself a diffuser blow dryer because I feel like my hair looks greasy in all of my videos because I film in the morning and my hair is usually wet. So I'm just trying to kind of pull myself together each morning and take that time and be dedicated and committed to it. We have not quite figured out the vanity yet. I know I want to scrub it, and I know I want to get some liners for it, which I haven't gotten the liners yet. And so, funny story, I decided, okay, I'm over having everything on top of the vanity, even though it is quite spacious. And actually, if you hear anything in the background, there is a train going by. We have a train that goes by right behind our house. So, do you see the drawers? Of course, the middle drawer isn't real, but the drawers on either side are quite real, and I didn't notice that until the day after I had filmed this. As soon as I get my hair done, I am going to organize the best I can under this vanity, but it is a work in progress. It is a process, so it's definitely going to be something I revisit. Also, these are very kind of dated vanities, which is fine. Also, did you notice how high up they are? I'm 5'5". Look how high up that sink is to me. I find that very mysterious. But I'm thinking about painting this one And there's another one in my downstairs half bath that I was also thinking about painting. And I thought I could do a fun color where they're kind of older and dated. I'm not too worried about what I do to them. I also thought, I've seen so many videos where people paint their countertops. I thought that would be a fun project to try, is just to try painting my countertops. Let me know if you've ever done that and if you have any tips. I love the idea of a DIY. I'm not that great at them, I have to be honest. I can't even honestly barely use a screwdriver, and I never feel confident when I do painting, but I love to do it. So I'm just thinking we might get adventurous here in the future with some DIYs on my vanities. So let me know if you've ever done that. Then this is the Lazy Susan that was in my kitchen. Actually, it was in the refrigerator, but my refrigerator is too small. We have a small one that we're using downstairs for spices, and I'm just using them around the house. Patty down in the comments, one of my dear friends here, one of our dear friends, had mentioned that she uses hers for cleaners. So I have this failed attempt. I wanted to put things that my husband and I both use in the Lazy Susan, but because of the drain from the sink, I can't spin the Lazy Susan, which is what I'm realizing right now. So in my true Karen form, everything I try the first time is not going to work. It's important that it doesn't work. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it over on the side. I was going to do like his side, my side, and then our stuff in the middle. And who knows, I might end up doing that eventually and not using the Lazy Susan there. But for today, I put the things we use in common on the right side. I'll put his things in the middle, and then I'm going to put my things on the left. I'm going to give you the reveal, but my toxic trait is putting my finger over the microphone of the camera as I film, so I apologize for the sound quality.
Okay, so this needs to be scrubbed up with a brush and lined, but in the middle here, these are my husband's things. Then I have some soap. And then here, this is just mine. I'm out of breath because I just came up the stairs. And then over here is, one of you had said you like Lazy Susans for cleaners. This was one of the ones I had for the fridge, so I put things in here that my husband and I both use. So I'll probably transfer the soap over here, but I just haven't done it yet. That keeps my countertop clean. And now all I need to do is clean this mirror. Because I don't know if you can see all that.
All right, I really want to get this office light up because it has a spot where I plug in my camera batteries to charge, which I've really been missing. Then we have all these extension cords that we're going to have to figure out what we're doing with. Do you remember I had that area under my stairs? So I've lost that, where I would put all of my like junk drawer stuff. So I got to figure out what I'm doing here for that kind of stuff. Haven't quite gotten that set yet. But I can at least plug in my camera battery in case my battery goes out here. All right, now I'll just wind these up. So we've got more of these than we have brains, honestly, because I have another one. We have one we're using. We have this white one, and then we have this one. This one I love because it has a nice long cord. See that? Whereas this one is much shorter. I'm not a big fan. Not a fan. Another box that I have some office stuff in. So I think for now, that's going to be where all that stuff lives, like this. I need to get something also for our paperwork. There's so many things. So many things. I had so many storage options that I didn't even really, it didn't connect with my brain. This is my husband's, I think. Well, this is for s'mores, s'more sticks. Yeah, there's a lot of like kind of junk in here. That's trash. I just want to make sure I don't throw away something I should keep. that we might want. I can tell this was a drawer in the side hutch that used to be in our dining room. Oh, look, another one. Yeah, that's what this was. All right. And checkbook. There's definitely keys in here I can get rid of, but I'm gonna do that with my husband. I'm not gonna get into too much of this today, but these were a few pieces of trash that can go. But these can go in here. It makes the most sense just for now. Long term, this is gonna be all long term. I'll show you what it looks like. All right, in case we need this and this and these. I also have this blow dryer box, so that can go in recycling. Grandkids stuff. So this should have never come up. I need to check and see if this Play-Doh's even any good. Oh yeah, okay. A lot of it has never been opened, so yep, this is good. All right, so these should be in the garage. Not in my room. Then I also remember that there's some decor in here, so I'm going to get that out. I'm going to take out the comforter that I'm decluttering because I can go and drop that stuff off tomorrow. And then I'm going to put our comforter on our bed to get it out of my husband's closet. And then I'm going to show you some of my self-care little crafts that I've gotten for myself. Just to give you ideas if you're looking for anything. So these, I'm just going to leave. I already have some over here. So until I can figure out what I want to do with them, this is where they're going. Sometimes having something kind of, quote, in my way helps me make decisions on it. But I really want to get my house kind of organized before decor, other than like fall decor, which you will see in my kitchen. Okay, and then I have my microphone for YouTube, which I never use anymore, and a selfie stick. I need to find the cord to that. So this I was going to donate, which I could do in this box. Oh, my old license. I keep this to show how far I've come. So even though I've gained back some weight, we're not there. This will go downstairs to declutter. This stuff I'm going to put in that same box. I need to declutter this, but I'd like to find the cord so that I could give someone the full, you know, if I'm going to donate it, I'd like them to have the cord that goes to the microphone. But sometimes my husband uses this, so I guess I better ask him. There's a delayed decision right there. Just being real. I'm afraid the realistic view of this is it's going to happen in layers. All right, so I know my comforter's in here. Which is my husband's closet. This all seems to be his. I'm just going to make sure this is his too. It must be his. I can't get the knot untied. Oh yeah, it's like his hats and stuff. Oh yeah, maybe I can get him a proper hat hanger. Okay. And another all my pillows. All right, let me show you what I've got going on for some self-care. No matter what no matter how big the project is you're trying to tackle it in your home, whether you're moving in, moving out like me, or decluttering, organizing, all the things, it's just good to have some little self-care moments where you can relax when you're too tired to work. So I have a couple coloring books, adult coloring. I got these brush pens at Walgreens. They have like a fine tip marker on one end, and the paint, they're Wexford. I mean, they're not like great quality, I'm sure. And then the like paintbrush on the other. So on the one side, it's like this for coloring, and then fine tip marker on the other side. And you know, I noticed at our local, it was either a community center or the library, I can't remember, but they actually have a coloring night where people bring their own coloring and they just sit, chat, and color. I thought I might try that. I just got this one. Okay, funny thing is, I was teasing my husband. This is the date we were married. I was like, this is us. So that's a Halloween one. I think I might get the Thanksgiving one. They had one of those too. And then this one I had in the house already. It's just various Christmas. I'm actually already getting the Christmas spirit. Doesn't usually hit me this soon. Then I just got a little cross stitch project on Amazon. There's all the threads. And they're small ornaments. I don't have the bandwidth for any big projects, you know, but having a small project I can hold in my hand, I think that's going to be fun. I haven't done cross stitch in years. And then, as you probably know, I do have diamond painting going. I haven't really been doing it, but this is a lighthouse. As you can see, it's like stainless, what is it called? Stained glass it's supposed to look like. But I don't know if you can see that little picture up in the corner. That's what it will look like. So yeah, that just gives me little things that I can do when I'm too tired to do anything else. Honestly, when I'm the most tired, that's when I'm coloring. Like when the TV's on, if football's on, because I find that very boring. And then I've got my diamond painting, and now I have embroidery. Just things, the diamond painting I do on a table, but I do have a lap desk, so I can put the lap desk and do that on the couch. Or I'm excited to get that cross stitch going, maybe today. That'd be nice. Oh, let us know in the comments, what do you do? Do you have any little hobbies that you're doing that help you to relax and just refresh yourself? Let us know in the comments. It will give us all new ideas. I found those ornaments on Amazon very inexpensive. I get the diamond painting and it comes with everything you need for like $7 on Amazon. So it's very inexpensive. Honestly, the most expensive project I'm doing right now is the coloring. The coloring book was like $15. I thought that, but you could ask ChatGPT to make a coloring picture for you, and you could tell it what you want, and then you could just print it. That's another way to do it.
This box would be easy to do because it's my shoes, so I'll probably do that here soon. And then this other box needs to leave my bedroom because it's like, this is the stuff for my laundry. So that, and kitchen scale, so maybe I'll ask my husband to bring this down tonight.
Leo saw a made bed and he just couldn't resist. It is time to solve a very large problem. So when we moved in here, everything just kind of got piled. There were a couple shelves that were created. All the shelves from my basement were brought here, but they weren't put together, and all the boxes just kind of got set into the garage, and I cannot find anything and I cannot see anything. So on this day, my husband decided to go ahead and fix that problem.
Okay, here we are. I'm into the mess. My wife's off today getting out people, and I'm just standing here trying to get this done. So I'm trying to put these shelves here, some other shelves together. Got a lot of stuff to reorganize, things to find, right? We'll figure it out.
He was speaking quietly, but as he said, I was not home for this. I did not even know he was doing it. This was on a Saturday. This was last Saturday. I was actually at a ladies' brunch at our new church, and Yvonne and I were there having a great time. And this took him the better part of the entire Saturday. So what he's going to do is just build shelving, put things on the shelving, and then with the space that he creates, he can build more shelving, and he's going to completely get everything up on a shelf. So you cannot see all the mess. That's why I gave the initial footage that I had actually taken another day and shown you, because he'd already taken some of the stuff out of the garage and put it on the driveway, and then he realized my wife is going to want me to film this. So I'm so thankful that he thought that way. He's a regular YouTube husband now, and this is how he is spending his day off, and I could not appreciate it more. I feel so much better. The only thing I want to do now is I want to get in there and reorganize what is on which shelf so that we all can access and know where everything is. And honestly, I'm a hands-on learner, so he showed me and kind of pointed out different things, but I need to put my hands on things to remember what is there. I don't know if you might be like me. He also built these shelves higher. The great thing about these types of shelves, you can get them on Amazon, at Home Depot, at Lowe's, and probably elsewhere, is in general, when you get like shelves, you can build them as high as you want because they have the holes in the corners to put the poles. So you could even take 2-3 shelves and make it into a 6 shelf. You know what I'm saying? So that's a great thing about it. So he put these up pretty high, and I'm so thankful we have a step stool because I've already had a hard time getting things down. So what I'll do sometimes is take a broom, and I will hook the broom handle in the edge of a box to kind of pull it down and just hope it doesn't land on my head. That's how I've been doing it recently. Not the best method for sure. It's so funny because as you guys have seen me trying to unpack and things not fitting, it's funny how many comments I've gotten where it says, could you put it in the basement? And I'm like, no! But we have put some things in the basement, actually. We have put some things from the kitchen that we do use. For example, my cookbooks are down there. Some of my little storage boxes and such are also down there, and extra pans, although I've decluttered the pans now, so there might not be any down there. So I need to get down there. That will be another video too, where I am trying to, anything that I keep for the kitchen, I really want to fit in the kitchen. I am looking at different furniture pieces that will have storage in it for keeping dishes, that sort of thing. But I kind of want to live in the uncomfortable place of nothing fitting to make myself declutter, to make myself use the container method of decluttering. One of the things that Dana K. White says is put your favorites in first, and then whatever is left goes. And sometimes our favorite thing might not be the most useful thing, but we just have an attachment to it. So the one thing I would love to add is to put the things you can't live without in first. Then if you have some favorite items, that could be second. And then anything left over needs to go. And sometimes that means just saying goodbye. For example, we had bought a sushi kit, and a couple videos ago you saw me declutter the sushi kit. That was something we had a lot of fun with, but we haven't used in a really long time. And that was what got me thinking that in our brain could be a favorite because there's some really great memories attached to that sushi kit. But at the end of the day, when you go, okay, have we used it in the last year? No, then it probably doesn't mean that much to us. Whereas we also have a tortilla maker where my husband will make homemade tortillas, and it's a press. That is a favorite, but it's also super useful, and he does still make tortillas with it. So obviously, if I had to choose, are we going to keep the sushi kit or are we going to keep the tortilla maker? Tortilla maker all the way. But it's those tough decisions where you look and you go, like another one is I used to have a Pampered Chef cookie press because years and years ago, I sold Pampered Chef. I loved the idea of the cookie press, but it was really fantasy Karen thinking that she's going to use that cookie press, and I didn't actually ever use it. And I kept that thing for years because every time I would go through my cabinets and my drawers, I would stumble upon it and I would think, oh, I'm going to use it. So there's going to be a lot of decluttering that happens in this garage. We brought some baby furniture here that we will probably declutter. We're going to see who can use it. We're also thinking about doing consignment. There's some consignment stores in the area. We might take some of the extras there to be sold. None of it is things that you guys bought her, just so you know, but some other extra things that we do have that have been handed down. We have some, for example, I had a pack and play that I purchased to use when my grandchildren would spend the night. And because Yvonne has one for Jabari, I don't need to keep mine, because if a child were to spend the night here, he would obviously be in his crib, and then the child that needs a porta-crib could be in hers. So that is just one example. So there's some furniture that I had gathered, and then she has stuff as well. So that will be an easy thing to let go of. I also think that there are some storage bins that I can combine. For example, I had partitioned out Jabari's clothes according to size, but the bins weren't full. That wasn't a problem in our previous home because my basement was so huge. But now I can combine those clothes and just put the smaller clothes on top. So that's going to be where we're headed coming up. But for me, it has been a priority for me to set up my kitchen and my bedroom and my bathroom. That way, meals are able to be made without too much frustration, and I'm able to get ready for the day without too much frustration. And then once I kind of have that nailed down, I'm definitely going to be spending spurts of time here in the garage doing a good declutter, because here we are in Vermont. It's a little bit further north than where we were in Maine. They actually had more snow here, a lot more snow here last year than we had at our home in Maine. And so I really do want to be able to park my SUV in this garage. It's obviously a one-car garage, and my car is not small. It's actually quite large. So I want to get things really in a small space so that I can put my car in here before the snow flies. The idea that I can enter this garage through the house, okay, that's not true. When I was a kid, there was a time from when I was like 11 through high school where my family had a garage that my parents' car was in. But in my own homes, I've never actually had a garage. So it's interesting, even though we have downsized, there's so many things I have here that I've never had before. For example, having my own bathroom ensuite in my bedroom, never had that before. That is amazing. Honestly, I just love it. I've never lived anywhere. Okay, when my husband and I were first married, we lived in the city for 9 months and there was a sidewalk. Then when we were in a church parsonage, there was a sidewalk. But since then, since like 1993, I have not lived anywhere with sidewalks. So it's really exciting to get to have sidewalks. And my husband and I have never lived anywhere together where we had a garage, and it was never something that I prioritized because I just felt like there's so many homeless in the world that I felt guilty that I would want a garage, because if people don't have a home, why would I have a home for my car? Does that make sense? But the fact that I have one now and was downsizing in the process actually makes me feel pretty excited. The reason I haven't wanted to put a whole lot in my basement is because we are hoping to, and we are going to, make our basement into a 4th bedroom. It is way more expensive to do than we ever thought possible, but we are still gathering quotes from contractors. Also, it's really hard to find someone who can do the work in what we would consider a timely manner. So that is a big old stay tuned. My husband has offered to do it because he was a carpenter to get himself through college, but I really, really, really don't want him to do that. And we decluttered probably 95% of his tools, definitely all his saws and all of the things. So it just wouldn't be the best thing ever. The first thing we'll need to do down there is create an egress, which means an exit. It'll be a window, but where they, dig a hole kind of to put this window in so that it is big enough as a fire escape. So that's going to be what comes first. And then we can, start doing things. What we might do is, instead of having a contractor, is letting my husband be the contractor but not actually do the work. So this is going to be a work in progress that I will definitely keep you updated on. So stay tuned, but that's why I haven't wanted to put a lot in the basement.
All right, so camera shut off because of the battery. We're doing better. Hopefully you caught most of that. Back here, working on the shelf doing this one. I'll try to bring you inside.
Okay, as the work is going on, there is something I did want to announce to you. I have a membership side on my channel, and I think you would only see the join button if you are subscribed. If you subscribe to the channel, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video, and even if they don't, you can click on the little word subscriptions that you see when you open up your homepage, and YouTube will be showing you all of the channels that you've subscribed to that have a new video up, okay? Subscription is completely free. It does honestly help my channel, so I would love it if you subscribed. Plus, I don't want to lose track of you. And also, I have a membership side of my channel. And on my membership side, I go live at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then it saves as a playback that you can watch at any time. Those usually last about a half hour. And then on Wednesdays, we always do a book study. Once we're done with the book study, then I do upload them to the public side. That way, if you kind of want to do it on your own, you can be watching my weekly updates where I summarize whatever we were reading. We did a book called Breaking Anxiety's Grip that you can find in my playlist. I'm also ready to make public the Decluttering at the Speed of Life by Dana K. White. I can't believe the timing that I read that book before we moved because it's helping me so much. And we're just about to start another study. In fact, it starts today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can choose to purchase a book or not purchase a book, totally up to you. You're still going to benefit from it either way, but we are doing a book called Jesus Doesn't Care About Your Messy House, also by Dana K. White. Okay, small Robin moment here where it shows he pays attention to my channel.
And we have an empty box. See? Empty box. Look at that. We brought an empty box. These are empty too.
I love how he was showing the empty boxes. So, we are going to be doing this study every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my membership side. So if you are currently subscribed, you will see underneath the video, right beside the subscribe button, it says join. And there have been people that are like, I can't see where to join. And I really think it's because you probably were not subscribed. Also, I have seen at random times people complain about the fact that sometimes they're subscribed to a channel and they get unsubscribed. So if you are subscribed, always check, make sure you are still subscribed. And then you could also join the membership. It is $5 per month. You can change that or end that at any time. So if you just want to be on board to watch a certain video, because I do share things, the whole purpose for the membership was so that I could be a little bit more personal than is appropriate to be on the public side of YouTube. It wasn't to change anything that you guys already see. I always try to be honest and I share everything I can possibly share, knowing that this is a very public forum. But I do get to be a little bit more personal. I get to direct information, videos toward what my members are needing for help and also direct my lives toward the same thing. But you can be a part, like you could pay the $5, look around on the membership side to see if it's worth it, and then you could end your subscription and only have that very first month. Anyway, I just thought I would mention that to you in case you're interested in Jesus Doesn't Care About Your Messy House. So he is finishing up here, and he actually had the, I think the camera shut off on him again. So I'm going to show you an after, and I did have the garage doors closed and the lighting in here is soft white, so it comes off very yellow. I need to go around and change the light bulbs throughout this house, because you'll notice different clips are kind of on the yellow side because I haven't replaced all of the daylight bulbs from the soft white bulbs. But anyway, let me show you what he accomplished on this Saturday. All right, this shows you what Robin did. So much better. Obviously, a lot of work to do here, but he has the walls lined with shelves. I'm trying to give you a full view. These are going to go in the basement on the floor. And then we did get like new car seats for the grandkids for whenever we have the grandkids. I don't want to be having to swap car seats. And what else? He is also putting together, he put together Jabari's crib, and then that's the bureau that goes with it that Yvonne was gifted with. And then a lot of this stuff, you know, will be in Rachel's room. And then, of course, these that I tried to use in my last video in the kitchen, but so much better. And we need to go and recycle a lot of cardboard. So, yeah. But I'm using a lot of the cardboard when I do donations. So as I declutter, I'll be using that to bring it over to the Restore thrift store. So anyway, it looks so much better. I'm so happy with it. Remember, as always, God loves you. I love you too. And I can't wait to see you next time.